3, 4, 2. What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival. And today I got a special co-host with me today. This is the man, the myth, legend, Steven Garcia. Steven was the quarterback of the University of South Carolina, and a lot of South Carolina fans will say he was probably the best one that's ever played the game there. Show some pictures of him. So, yeah, Steven, welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, man. You showed all the pictures of me without a beard on.
Yeah. See, I was going to ask you, did Spurrier not let you guys have beards back then?
He did not. He did not.
Yeah.
He didn't like my long hair. He didn't like my beard. But
yeah, I thought so. I thought I read that somewhere. Now let me say this, and I've told Steven this before. See, I'm a Clemson fan, and I used to hate Steven Garcia. Like, I would go to the games, and he would, beat my Tigers behind. I couldn't stand him, but he's my boy now, so we're good friends. But Steven, I'm bringing you on, man. You're an elite level athlete, and you've been in that world. You've seen these sort of things like ped use. So, and the backstory is Ryan Garcia has, he had a lot going on leading up to the fight with Devin Haney, where he was talking about dropping names of pedophile rings and elites and things like that. But he then kind of went silent, and then he went on Patrick Bet David, and he said he was kind of doing this for publicity. Now, a lot of people speculate that somebody like touched him, like they, kind of told him. And now he's apparently pop positive for performance enhancing drugs. Now, you being, in that world of athletics, spending a lot of time, how prevalent is it? Because I've always heard that, to be a winner, you got to cheat. I've kind of heard that.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, look at your boys. Look at the Clemson guys, man. I mean,
yeah, here we go. Yeah, I got the article here.
I got to throw some darts in every now and then.
Yeah, Clemson, Osterine, and this is one of the compounds that Ryan Garcia got hit for. So Clemson got a suspension.
But I'll tell you this, man. I mean, I don't think there's a more drug-tested athlete in college football history than myself. I never once got tested for PEDs. I mean, they did. I mean, you can see me. I mean, I'm not some jacked up dude. But, and I don't want to throw any names out there, but there was definitely guys that you can imagine that, I saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. That's part of the game. It is what it is. And, whatever.
And, you being at the collegiate level, and like Clemson getting busted for Osterine. And if people don't know, Osterine is actually a SARM, which stands for selective androgen receptor modulator. And so basically steroids are like 50 years old. Like, there's been no new steroids made in like the last 50 years. SARMs, however, came out after, and basically they were trying to make something to reduce side effects. And Osterine was designed for people with osteoporosis and basically to hold muscle mass. And so when people with, muscle wasting diseases, they want to, like HIV, AIDS and stuff like that, they want to try to hold muscle mass because basically you deteriorate away. And from my understanding, it's not a strong compound whatsoever. Like, if you were to take something, this would not be it, right? And him being a multimillionaire who has everyone at his fingertips, the doctors. I mean, Lance Armstrong was, getting his blood clean. I mean, don't you think, they would have a way around this? Like, if he wouldn't just come out and take something he ordered offline, right?
For sure. And like we alluded to earlier, I mean, I hate to say it, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And that's kind of the way of the world, and especially the athletic world.
Yeah, because you're getting paid your career.
A lot.
Like, if you're trying to enhance your career, like at where you work at now, you're going to take every advantage you can, right? And so same thing with athletics.
100%. I mean, if you got not hundreds of thousands of dollars, you have millions of dollars on the line. Your entire livelihood, your kids. I mean, everything about it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I remember the fact of I think it was Ray Lewis that was talking about taking like deer antler. You remember that?
Yeah.
The
Yep.
deer antler thing. I mean, people are always finding ways to try to supplement, muscle mass and intensity and everything else. I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game.
And one reason I do got Garcia on here, he's not related to Ryan Garcia, but
Maybe down the line. I mean, who
yeah,
the hell
maybe
knows?
it's possible. But there's a steroid scandal from your university back in 1988. Sports Illustrated basically published an article, and they were saying that the coaches were getting juice for the athletes. And I've heard this from all kinds of colleges. Even the Clemson thing, they've speculated that the coaches were involved. And dude, coaches are getting paid a lot of money. Like they want their team to go to the championships, right?
For sure. I mean, I think there's the movie, the program that was
Yeah.
based on that, out
Yep.
of South Carolina. So, I mean, it was obviously a lot more prevalent back then. That's why the NCAA started testing for steroids and all the other stuff. But like you said, you'll find a way around it if that's something you want to do. And there's a lot of money, man. There's so much money, especially now compared to even when I was playing. There's a lot of money to be made, and why not? Why not try it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going back to what he popped for, so Osterine was one on, which is again is a very mild. It's stuff you can order offline. Like they sell it for like experimental use. Like you can go get that junk off eBay, I think. I don't find him doing that. Now, the other thing is he was getting drug tested every week leading up to this fight and passing every time. So like 2 days before the fight is when this sample apparently he popped for the Osterine. And then they had a sample they tested after, and he also popped for a 19 nor. Now 19 nor is either nandrolone decanoate or trembolone acetate, which are bodybuilding steroids. He would not really get a benefit to take that, nor does he look like he takes that, nor would
Right.
you take it for a couple days and it benefit you.
Exactly.
Like, he has too much to lose than to gain from taking something 2 days before a fight, right?
For sure.
And
I mean, again, I don't really watch boxing or MMA that much. I I just don't get like you're saying, I don't get the advantage of it. If you're going to do it a couple days before, then all of a sudden, I mean, wasn't he pretending to be drunk the entire time
yeah,
leading up to the fight?
yes, yep,
So I
yep.
mean, who knows?
Yeah, and they were trying to say he was on drugs because whenever he started calling out these elites and things like that, they're like
That's
he's
right.
on
Yep.
drugs, and these drug tests checked that as well. And so he was on nothing. But again, a lot of people are like, man, they touched him, they scared him. But there's also, thing could happen where he could have taken some spike supplements. Now, this has happened before. If you ever guys ever heard of this one supplement company, I think it's called Blackstone Labs or something like that. Andrew Singerman, he went to prison for they were putting roids and SARMs inside of like protein, and people were winding up in the hospital with like liver problems. And so then another fighter, Yoel Romero, he got popped for MK677 or butamorin, which is a growth hormone secretagogue. And he won a lawsuit because it was actually in the supplement. They went and bought some off the shelf, like it was a protein powder or creatine or something. And it had this SARM in there, or growth hormone secretagogue, I should say. So that's the potential. But again, I think, dude, at his level, I just don't see him, fooling around with some shit like this. I just don't see it,
No, for sure. And side note, I'm impressed that you can even pronounce some of these names, man. I would have a hard time reading and trying to pronounce those things. That's insane. Insane.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. All these chemical names, man.
Oh,
I research all this stuff though, man. I love the fitness and supplement realm. So
but I mean, like you're saying, it's very prevalent in the athletic arena right now. But to get back to your point, man, I don't. He's not a big dude. Like
yeah, he
I
don't
mean,
look like he's taking it. It doesn't even like he's eating enough, to be honest with you.
exactly.
And to me, he looked like a little bit of a skinny fat. Like whenever he fought, he was over 3 pounds. I mean, he like to be that small, like he had a little bit of fat on him versus a lot of fighters. They go in there shredded because they cut weight. Like he didn't even care about cutting weight, you know?
Right.
And I think he had to pay like 1.5 million because he did not meet the weight standard or something like that. It was like 500,000 a round or something. Yep. Now I'm going to play the video real quick of him denying it. Here we go.
Everybody, I came on here to address this bull claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? You know, why didn't they come out with this before, you know, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with a victory and then they post this, you know? Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken a steroid in my life. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, you know, take a supplement.
I mean, to me, it sounds like pretty legit. But
yeah.
Again, man, if they're testing him, why would they let someone in there fighting on a banned substance? I mean, dude could have went in there and killed somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you take the right thing, get the right amount of aggression or strength, man, he'd go in there and kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it'd be poor. It would just be poor for the you know, the people regulating the fight, man, you know.
No, there's no question about it. And you know, me and you go back and forth on Instagram, sending each other messages and talking about conspiracy theories. I mean, there's no question that a guy that's this outspoken against the elite, I mean, that's why they're elite, man. They're going to try to hammer any single person that speaks out against them. I mean, that's just how they do things.
And initially, you know, they always kind of start out, like, if you notice, they start trying to like hit credibility,
right?
Just like they did with Trump, Stormy Daniels, Russia collusion. You know, they try to hit you with credibility, and that's where I see where they did with him too. They're like, hey, credibility. You are on drugs, you're drinking, you're lying. Then once you don't bend or break from that, you know, you get the threats or what have you. Then they go another route, like indictments, you know, and maybe they're not trying to indict him, but this is huge because he could get banned from fighting for this for, you know, ever. So it seems to me that way. Now, we talked about this earlier. This happened just 2 days before, the day before it was released that he popped positive. He went down to Mar-a-Lago and said this.
Donald Trump 2024. Oh!
You know, it's almost comical, man, because Trump's under fire. They're losing bad. The Democrats are losing bad coming in the season. And so he goes down there, hangs out with Trump, gives the endorsement. Then all of a sudden, boom, this comes out. Dude, you almost can't write the script.
I mean, unfortunately, you almost can over the last 4 years. It's anyone that promotes, you know, pro-America, pro-Trump, especially pro-Trump, you're going to get audited. You're going to get harassed on social media. You're going to get it is a absolute shit show, to be point blank. That's just what it is. It's a scary time, man. I don't feel bad for necessarily for myself, but I feel bad for like the future. And like, I got 3 kids, man. Like, what the hell are we going to leave behind?
Yeah, dude.
If we don't put an end to this shit.
Yeah. Same, dude. I know you're very outspoken, man. You're very outspoken, and not many, maybe more people are coming around now.
They got to.
You lost a lot of friends or former player colleagues and stuff like that. If people like turn their back on you, companies, because you have a lot of endorsement deals and stuff like that. And
yes and no. And I'm sure you can attest to this. The companies that and the people that want to endorse you and want to sponsor, you know, whatever you're doing, if they don't like what I say, go. I'm fine with that. I truly do not give a shit. I got my own thing going. I'm not worried about, you know, being politically fucking correct. I think that's the stupidest thing, and it's literally ruining what we were as a country. And I'm hoping that there's more people that are like us, that are outspoken, that are going to just say what the hell they want to say and not be afraid to offend somebody. I could care less if I offend somebody. I get shit talked all the time, and I don't give a shit what you say. I truly don't. It's not gonna affect my day to day. But then you see these other people that oh, you said this word, you said that, and I'm offended. Okay, be offended.
Yeah, man. It's like every day people, that's why I say all the time, people wake up every day trying to figure out how they can get offended, man.
That's their job. They wake up to, oh, how can I get offended today? As opposed to how can I make my life a little better? How can I make this country a little bit better? It's like, how can I get offended today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's sickening.
And then what can I get for free? You know what I mean? It's
Oh, and don't get me wrong, man. I love a good free deal and this and that, but you gotta work eventually. You have to work for your stuff.
Yeah. You know, you going back to college and your college days and stuff like that. I mean, you were the celebrity there. You know what I mean? How do you, being in college during this era, and if you were as outspoken as you were or you are now, what would the effect be, you think?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there'd be riots all the time. I'm not opposed to it, man. I got a Black Scout survival light on my pistol. I'm cool.
Yeah, he does too, guys. He does. He rocks it. He rocks it. Yeah, man. I mean, I see a lot of players now, man. They cower down. You know, they don't say what they feel. And
or they say something, they get pressured into apologizing and that was insensitive, and then they got to go to some insensitive training type deal. It sucks, man. It's truly disheartening. That's the best word I can use to describe it. It is disheartening.
Yeah, I mean, NFL's went totally woke. I think at the collegiate level they're kind of holding off on that for the most part, at least in the football arena. I think maybe you know more than I do, but I think they're holding off on it.
Well, at least in the South they are. I mean, truth be told, that's what it is. It's and I got a 16-year-old son that's trying to play college football, and he's trying to get looked at and everything else. And it's like, dude, if you don't get a college football scholarship, and I tell him this all the time, it's like, dude, you're not going to college.
Yeah,
I'm not paying for you to go and deal with that.
Get brainwashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Go to trade school, join the military. I mean, there's so many other things that you could do as opposed to going and wasting 4 years of your life getting brainwashed. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. College, man, is just has not turned out, what, guys like our age, like it used to be, man. I mean, it is straight. Like, dude, I saw a video of like a Transformer like music video being played, I think at Yale. You know what I mean? They're watching like in class, you know what I mean?
And you're paying $70,000 a year to go to school there, and you're watching Transformers.
Yeah.
And
when I say Transformers, I'm using coded language.
No, I know. I get what you're saying. I mean, my 2 older brothers play football at Harvard, and I send them clips. I mean, at this point, it's almost daily of Harvard is doing this. They're promoting this. They're doing this. They were like, man, I'm so glad that I played. I mean, they graduated in 2004 and 2006. And they were like, I would never go to Harvard at this point.
Yeah, man.
They wouldn't survive.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Like, especially how you say the South. I mean, and that's what most people pay attention to when you talk about, the college football is big in the South. And I don't know where all the viewers are from, but in the South, college football is actually bigger than professional football.
There's no question. No question about that. No question. I mean, I will say this though, and I had a couple podcasts. This is my 5th podcast this week. It's kind of been wild, but and we've been talking about, it's like the NIL and the transfer portal has kind of transformed, not kind of, but it's definitely transformed the landscape of college football to where there's not as much loyalty towards a program anymore, because guys are coming and leaving based on, how much are you going to pay me? And, you got arguably the greatest coach in college football history had to freaking retire because the first question he was being asked when he's going to a high school recruit's house is, how much are you going to pay me?
So they're paying players now?
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, they're paying, dude, they're paying millions of dollars. Come on, man. Wow. You know that. You know,
Well, I knew they pay.
You know, New Spring Church is paying all those Clemson guys. They've been doing that for decades.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. What's that pastor there that got in trouble? I forget his name, man. That dude's a nut job.
It's legal now, and it's
legal. Yeah, that's what I was getting to. It's legal now. I knew they paid because I know another one of your old players, man. He actually worked for me a little bit, and I'm not going to drop his name, but he was a defensive guy. But like he would show me pictures like of just like the supplements he would get for free, like a counter full, like they had it. He had a nice like house, dude. They rented like him a house, full ride, and he got into it with the Muschamp. He got it whenever Spurrier left, Muschamp took over. He got into it with him and he left or what have you. But
dude, it's insane how much money these guys are getting paid. Like. And I said this last time at the last podcast. It's like I don't think I would not have survived college football had I got paid what these guys are getting paid right now. I literally don't think I would have survived.
Well, a lot of people say that destroys the game too, man, because it's no longer about the spirit of it, man. It's about money,
Right.
Yeah.
There's no question about it, man. It sucks, and I think it is, tarnishing college football and especially like the fan base of it, but as we've been talking about, the South, I mean, it's almost a religion.
Yeah.
College
it
football.
Is. And you're from Florida, and so you came over here to South Carolina. But like here in South Carolina, man, like you go to school, somebody says, "Are you Clemson or Carolina?" That's the first question, dude.
Yep.
Like choose wisely because you might get jumped.
And to be honest, man, I had no idea where University of South Carolina was on the map when I was in high school. No idea where Clemson was. Then all of a sudden I'm getting recruited. I go up to these visits. I was like, man, this place is actually kind of nice, man. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But back then it was a lot different recruiting, man. I try to tell my son that now. It's like recruiting is so much different now as opposed to, what it was 14 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah. So what are you doing now, man? I know you got a lot going on. You're training quarterbacks, right?
Yep. Training quarterbacks and receivers, and I just hired a receiver coach, and it's sort of keeping me in shape. And a lot of these parents will come up and they're like, the way, like I got Trump flags hanging all over my yard and stuff, and American flags flying over like this one up there, and they're like, this is what my kid needs. Like he needs somebody else to kind of.
Oh yeah, dude. I watched your clips, man. I mean, you're doing great mentorship out there, man. You're making these guys men, which is great, man. And you get after, you work out still. A lot of people just let go. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But you're keeping it in track, man. You still got that Hummer, man?
Oh yeah.
That thing's killer, man. He's got an amazing. Tell him about it, man.
Well, my wife just came in from a run right now, so I'm looking at her now. So, so it's what is it, 2001?
2000.
Yeah, 2000 AM General, and so she found it, and I was like, oh, let me talk to this guy behind her back, and I'm messaging this guy kind of separately, and I was like, hey, and he's out of St. Petersburg, which is 30, 40 minutes away. He's like, all right, it's $300. I don't want to drive it across the bridge. It's $300 to ship it. I was like, all right, here's the deal. If I like it, I'll pay for it in cash, and we're done. If I don't like it, I'll give you guys $300. You can send it back for the transport. And long story short, she comes back and she sees this guy roll up on it with a tank behind it, and I'm like, this thing's staying here. This ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. It's sick.
And I love that thing. We take it all the time.
Yeah, I need to get me one of them, man. I need one of those.
It's fun. It's definitely a showstopper, and I'll take my daughter to school, and I mean, going through like the drop off line, these people are hellacious, trying to like cut everybody and drop the kid off quickly. They see that Hummer and they're like, all right, you go, man, you go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go near that thing.
Got the AR hanging up and
Exactly.
Well, good deal, bro. I don't want to keep you, man. I just wanted your expertise. But again, Ryan Garcia, man, it's really hard to say to me. I just think it's very crazy that he endorses Trump. Then all of a sudden this happens, especially with everything they're doing with Donald Trump. They touched Jeffrey Epstein. They've touched a lot of others, man. And you know how they're going after Trump, man. I think it's very quite possible, man. You know,
It's scary, man. And I was talking to my parents about it, and it's like we got Sleepy Joe. He came to Tampa, and there was like 15 people. They were at his. I'm not even kidding. There was like 15 people at his thing, and you know he's reading off of
dude. Krispy Kreme donuts has got more people waiting. You know.
And meanwhile, they got Trump tied up in this bullshit hush money thing and not letting him campaign. And if people don't realize that the fix is in and it's been going, it happened in 2020. I mean, you're living under a rock, and it's eventually people are going to wake up, and when it wakes up, they're waking up a sleeping giant. People are going to get tired of it, and I feel like, judging from like social media and everything that I see, and talking with friends, and not only in Tampa but across really the country with Gang Pound fans, are like, dude, I live in a blue state, and people are getting tired of this.
Yeah. People are getting upset, man. I did a video last night, and like, dude, Al Sharpton was on there talking against the Democrats. New York City, Eric Adams, the mayor, was talking against them. Yeah, dude,
like what?
Like the Democrats are flipping, dude. You know what I mean? Like in droves, man. Everybody's tired of it, man.
It's a scary situation that we're in, man. Scary is really the only term that I can describe.
It's frightening, man. Especially when you're talking about the younger generations, man. If the shit don't get turned around soon, man, it's gonna go bad, man. I can't see doing another 4 years under this progressive Marxist, the puppet masters, man. Because Joe ain't doing nothing, man. Joe's barely breathing, dude.
Who knows if that's even him, man? I mean,
I say that all the time, dude. Like, really, like, I mean, he might have died back in 2019, man. For real. I mean, for real.
I mean, I see videos all the time of these masks that look so realistic. I mean,
and he looks so different all the time, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the ears, the hair, the ears, man, and it's in like his mannerisms. Some days he's like wide-eyed. I even seen this guy that like had on his IMDb, the actors put, and he wrote Joe Biden for like the inauguration and blah blah. You know what I mean? Crazy, man.
Well, that's why this whole country, man, and thank God for you and what you're doing. And
I appreciate it, brother.
Preparing people for what's coming. I mean, I hate to say it, man.
It's not if but when. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And I've been locking and loading. There's a few things underneath that flag.
Nice, brother. Nice. Well, good deal, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to your family and stuff, man. I appreciate you coming in and giving your your experience and expert advice on this stuff, or opinion, I should say, expert opinion on this stuff, man. But guys, I do appreciate it, and go check out Steven Garcia. He's on all the social medias, and if you got a young man wanting to go to the next level in football, hit him up. He's got training camps and what have you. So he was one of the best guys that ever was at University of South Carolina. And he beat my team all the time. So, all right, guys. Make sure you comment, like, share. Go check out Steven Garcia. And remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.
That's right.